Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to tell you how to create a dynamic routing in Next.js. Yeah, let's start. For normally, this dynamic routing will used for blog posting sites. Those are all things. It's like based on the title and ID, we need to render some content, right? There, that detail screen should be static, and based on that ID, we can modify that content, right? In that case, this dynamic routing will do the major role. Okay. Yeah, let's start. So if you want to create a dynamic routing means, as usual, we need to create one folder like user. I'm going to create a user routing, and if we add a pages inside this user means this is like normal routing. For dynamic routing, we need to add a array bracket and ID, and like this. This is like dynamic routing. Inside this ID, we need to create a page.js. See this is a dynamic routing. Here this page is like static content. Based on this ID, this content will get modified the structure means content. Okay, yeah, now I'm going to create a page user content, export default function, and user return. Inside return, I'm going to add a div, and this is h1 tag, and this is user. Now basic structure is ready. I'll tell you how can I access this component. Now our dynamic routing is ready. Here, what is our component name? User. Just like this is the path. If I add a user like this, path like this, it will show 404 because we add a dynamic ID here. So we need to pass some ID after this user. Like this, we can able to access that component here. So I'm going to get this ID value and display this component. How can I do that? If I want to get that ID, we need to add a params. It's like default dynamic params, and here what we're going to get from this param, we are going to get this ID. So const and ID param. Okay, I'll just copy and console here. Here, if we add a console log like this means it will not display in the browser. See, if I refresh, it will not render. If I copy this and here, just add a p tag and ID. I just paste that ID means it will display. See this ID is displaying here. Why? Because this is a server component. How I can say this is a server component? Because we didn't add anything like use client. If we add a use client at the top, this is the client component. If we are not adding this in the top, it is like server component. What is the difference between server component and client component? Server component, it's like rendering the all UI part. Rendering means it's like displaying all the static content to the user, and the client side rendering, it's like actions. User can click some buttons, those are actions. There, if user click on some actions, it should trigger some JS functions. So those are all coming from client side. So that's the reason it is not printing this console in the browser. If I save this one here, if I go here, see this, it is printing. Then how can I see this console value without adding this user client means, use client means, see this is like a server component. Server can render only in this terminal, running local server. Okay, see this value is printing here. If I save, this value is printing here. If I modify this to save this, see this server value is printing here. This is the difference. It's like server is like static content. It is making the, it is passing the static content to the client server. Client component, it's like browser. The user can view that view in the browser. Now, if I add this, I can able to see that value here. See this server is printing here. Yep, we can add a dynamic routing like this. And yeah, this is what I try to tell in this video. I think this video will help you. Bye bye.